The sky watcher of all. Here we are. Hey. Hi and welcome back. Well, if this is your first time, welcome. This is Elaine Marolakos Edelson welcoming you to Astrology Mojo. I want to help you get your mojo back. And today is the first day of the rest of your life. Something like that. We're going to be talking about the difference between wanting and having. What is the difference between wanting and having? Well, we're going to talk about that. Come say hello to me. And I said I would dig up all the places that have been viewing me, and I have a list of them, and I want to pay a little homage to these states and countries. Hi, Laura Lee. Come say hello. So, life is new, huh? New normal. And in the more concentrated areas of the country and in the world, there's a lot more trauma. But in more rural areas, there's less. But nevertheless, we are always undergoing something. Always. But it's up to us to do what we can for ourselves and for our family and for others, right? So, you're not alone. Basically, you are not alone. So I'm just going to type in the box, come say hello. Come say hello to me. What's on your mind? What's on your mind, really? Because that's the whole answer to the question, what's the difference between wanting and having? It's what's on your mind. Literally. I had this all worked out earlier, and I was not great. Okay, there we go. That was it. That's all I needed to do. Have a little faith. Oh, okay. Hello from Canada. You know, I used to know the song, actually. I don't remember it now. Anyway, okay, I want to say hi and thank you to Canada for being here and supporting me. Also, Idaho, Bermuda, Montana, Oklahoma, where the winds come sweeping down the plain, Illinois, Georgia, Colorado, Mississippi, spell that 3 times fast, New Zealand, Indonesia, Washington, Wisconsin, Alabama and Alaska, Minnesota, Utah, Northern Carolina, I read it wrong, Connecticut, Montana, Iowa, Rhode Island, Tennessee, Alaska. Oh, I said Alaska. Illinois. Did I say Illinois? I think I did. Israel and Iowa. And I'll read off more later. So thank you for tuning in. Hey, Tori. Nice to see you. So if you don't know me, then you don't know that I say that in astrology, which is one of the things I talk about, that the planets don't do anything to you. We live in a cooperation with the cosmos, so that when the planets make a move, you feel it. When you make a move, the planets reflect that by way of aspects and angles in astrology. You are not a puppet. The astrology came to us from starseed, way, way, way in another galaxy, and to help us utilize it as a tool to help us move through our energy, to help us create something greater. Because we all came here to serve, but not at the sake of ourselves. And sometimes when we walk around and we say, oh my gosh, I just tried so hard, it's not working. You know, why bother? Then we look at, well, how many situations do you think you would need to undergo? The same situation of failure, of not being able to make something happen, of feeling lost, forlorn, or feeling like you're never going to get there, before you realize, wait a second, I have an idea. And that idea is, instead of thinking that seeing is believing, because that's how most people live their lives, that believing is seeing. Is that possible? It's possible. For a green, yellow pumpkin to become a golden carriage. Yeah, it is. I am living proof of that. And so are you. So the choices that you make put you in a make or break column. Like, I'm going to make this happen. And a lot of times we go, well, we work so hard. I work so hard at this. How come it's not happening? And then we stop, right? We get frustrated. And so you've got it in play. You've got the motion down. Now you just have to have the consciousness and the frequency to go along with it on a consistent basis. So basically, what that means is anytime you feel like you're getting lost in something that you cannot control, I want you to think about where your thoughts go, because wherever your thoughts go, your emotions will follow. And energy manifests from that. So you are literally the creator of your own reality. And a lot of people would say, well, wait a second, I'm well read. I'm very kind. I give a lot at Christmas. And I don't believe that I would set myself up for this kind of failure or this illness or this tragedy or this, okay, the things that happen to other people that are sad to you is out of your control. I'm talking about what happens to you on the inside. The difference between wanting and having is you. You're the matter. What's the matter? You. Hey, Renee's here. Kate, hi. And anyone else who's listening and not commenting. I think it's really important that during this time, and this is the new normal, right? Whatever that means, because more people are spending more time alone or with family or away from the fast pace of living. And perhaps relying a little bit more on technology, yes, but let's move away from that from time to time, because that can disrupt the cell communication between your body, between each other. So, but what I'm looking at is how this new, very significant time frame, and what I mean is, there have been viruses forever, bacteria forever. They live on your body. They mutate. They need a host. But what's happening now with the hyper focus and the hypersensitivity to getting more of what you want, what you need, is bringing you back to focus on you once again. And what can you do to be more compassionate for yourself and others? Now, in the more heavily populated areas of the world, as I said earlier, we're going to see more of the trauma, as with any illness or with any tragedy. If you never knew that there were earthquakes or tsunamis in the Philippines or on the islands, your focus wouldn't be there. But a news story gets reported and then you go, oh my gosh, that's terrible, those poor people. And then you go back to your dinner and binge watching, whatever your favorite show is. So, and that's not a right, wrong, there's no judgment on it. I'm just saying that wherever you put your focus is where you're going to have an impact, where you're going to see something more about yourself. So when we start, does that make sense? Okay, come say hello to me if you're just joining us, or if this is a replay for you, either on Facebook or on YouTube, on my YouTube channel, Astrology Mojo, then we're talking about wanting versus having and what you can do to up your frequency, because this is the time that you're being given now. This is the time that you're being given to focus on more of who you are and who you are not. And who you are not is a victim. Things can happen in a row, and it happened to me this morning. I was out, I had to get something done, and then at one facility, and then go to another facility and mail off a package, and through FedEx. And so there was a delay here. The door was locked there. I finally got in after a few phone calls, and and then I get to the place to deliver it. And all the time I'm thinking I got to get back and do a Facebook Live. But each time I was thwarted to move, easily on my path, I was given an opportunity to grumble and moan and go, oh my God, I can't believe it. I told them I would be here at 8:00. Where are they? Instead it was like, oh, okay. So I'll just do a check-in with someone and just make sure that they're going to be here. And then I waited patiently and I listened to the birds chirping instead of grumbling and moaning and bitching and talking about how nothing ever goes right. And this is a test, right? The universe is testing me. I didn't go there. So the door opened, I got my thing. I went to the other place. Oh, new notice. I called 3 days ago, but as of today or yesterday, they have new hours. So now I'm 30 minutes away from home and you and Facebook Live. And I'm thinking, all right, yeah, I'm going to make this. So I went back to the original place and the guy had said to me, listen, if you have trouble or if you have a problem, come back to me and I will make sure that package gets delivered in FedEx because I have to go to another town and I will deliver it for you. So I got the support that I needed. Now, if I were in whining, complaining victim mode, I would have been like, okay, thanks. And then, you see, it never works. Oh my God. Yeah. So the choice I was given was at every turn, there was a door that was closed to me. And I went into a neutral place of, okay, well, what are my options? So I just listened to the music that I love listening to in the car, and I went to the next place and the next place, and then I went back to the other place, and I handed the guy the package, and he said, I promise you. And I said, I believe you. Thank you so much for your help. Then I got home half an hour before Facebook Live, and I had plenty of time to get what I needed done. Now, if I were in a victim mode, which sometimes when you're not well fed, you're in a constant spiral of negativity, or you can't seem to get out of the loop, out of that reality. You eat sugar, carbs, caffeine, nicotine. This is going to dull your senses and bring you down. It just will. No judgment. Been there. But when you're clearer, you know that you can get what you need. And that trust, that moment of decision between, 4-letter words, 5-letter words, 3-letter words, to, oh no, the birds are chirping. It's so beautiful. The weather is gorgeous today. And I'm going to get my needs met because I trust in a benevolent universe. And as I am a co-creator, as are you. So I created that time. Now, sometimes when it relies on other people, you can't always get there the way you need it to. And then when we stop fighting, banging on the door, banging on the door, banging on the door. I got to get that thing done, got to get that thing done, got to get that. And it's not getting done. And then you get frustrated over it. And then you start blaming all the people involved and how else it could have worked and blah, blah, blah. And instead of realizing that maybe as you are a collaborator with this universe, maybe there is a better path that you cannot see, that you do not trust because you're not the one doing it all. So if you think, I got to do it all or it doesn't get done, then you're crap out of luck with trying to manifest because this is a cooperation. You have a need the universe provides. And the more you put your focus on, I already have it. It's a path. It's a stream of energy I can create because there's many future possibilities. You have one end goal, but the way to get there, you could go around the block 17 times. You can go in a straight line. You can go up, you can go down, you can go backwards, and then before you go forwards. I mean, there's so many ways to get to that goal in the future, but the now is what exists. And the energy you put on the now is what creates the next moment toward that goal. Make sense? Yeah. Right? Hey, Cindy's here. Rikara. Oh my God, I'm 2 hours late. No, you're not. You're exactly on time. How are you 2 hours late? You're exactly on time. Lucy's here as well. So think about that process because when you focus on what you don't have, the universe says, okay, that's the energy we're focused on. Let's crank up the gears. Let's make more of that. It's true. That's how it works. So if you could take back your power a moment at a time, just by saying, it's not working. I'm so frustrated. Okay, acknowledge your feelings, acknowledge your thoughts. Don't invalidate yourself or deny yourself. We're not going to move right into everything is beautiful and it's so wonderful and everything is great and your house is falling down around you. But you have to acknowledge the moment. Oh God, I feel kind of crappy right now, but I trust that my needs are met. So that's your ladder out of hell. Okay? That's the one tiny significant moment that creates a whole different vibe. And from that resonance creates a whole different trajectory for your future. Making sense? We're going to make change and sense. All right, am I turning ghost again? I just have to do that every once in a while, and whatever it's doing. Okay. So, yeah, between wanting and having, it's you. Oh, baby, it's you. Thank you, Guatemala, Taiwan, the Netherlands, Poland, Japan, Greece, Botswana, Portugal, Virginia, Maryland, Hong Kong, California, Kansas. And that's just whatever. Thank you for paying attention and for tuning in and being here. Yes, Kate says, makes sense. Okay, do you understand? That if you want something so badly, you are going to create a vibration, and that vibration creates a frequency, and that frequency resonates around and in you, your entire being. And so then you start to draw to you things to match that frequency. Never going to happen. They're not going to call me back. Why would they hire me? Because, look at everything that's going on right now. No, they're laying people off. Or I heard somebody say yesterday, "Oh my God, you didn't put that, you didn't have the insurance card pay for it. Now it's going to be a problem. Now it's going to be a problem." No. How about we project? This happened to us. I forgot to use an insurance card. And so we were thinking, it's going to be a problem. Then I thought, no, it's going to go so smoothly. I'm going to get my needs met. So I called the number after 5 minutes of, oh, damn it, I did it wrong. And I stopped and went, no, you just forgot. You forgot to do something. Why do you want to beat yourself up over that, over anything? I didn't cause harm. I didn't hurt anyone, but I was ready to hurt myself in the process. So I thought, okay, I'm just going to refocus. What is a potential outcome of this? Now it's like going through the insurance company. It used to throw me into a tizzy, and I mean a spin of like, it's never going to happen. I felt like a victim. Who do I call? It's going to be, a recording. Press 3, press 7, keep going, go back to the beginning. And I was like, no. We're going to erase that, and it's going to be, my needs are met. My needs are met. My needs are met, even if I don't know how to meet them. So then what I did was I called the number on the back of the card, and I said, "Hi, this is my name. This is my insurance thing. I had a test done and I forgot to, submit my card. What do we do?" "Oh, it's no problem." And we started talking about technology and the good old days and our parents and grandparents, and how this gal's grandparents, literally came over on a covered wagon to Idaho and would travel 6 miles just to, to get produce until they grew their own. So we had a lovely conversation. She guided me through the process. I downloaded the thing. I'm going to fill it out, which will take 5 minutes, and I'll mail it in, and it's done. Okay? So simple things like that can feel so overwhelming when your biology is not cared for. You are dehydrated. Now, get this. Everyone wakes up dehydrated. Oh, yeah. So what do people replace it with? Sometimes it's an energy drink. Sometimes it's, high dose caffeine. Sometimes it's soda. Oh, no. You start out with clean water. Clean water. Rehydrate. Gets your brain cells better focused. And then comes the first thought of the day. I got to get this done. I got to get that. You don't have to do anything except be present. Because what you wake up with is going to be your entire trajectory. Oh my God, I forgot. I was depressed yesterday. Well, you have a choice. Now, cleaning up your biology and refocusing your thoughts might take a while. I know. I used to live on 1 protein a week in a trailer on a borrowed mattress. I know how hard that is. I do. And then I was chemically depressed because I was constantly smoking cigarettes. So how can you be clear on the resonance that's trying to help you, that's trying to support you, when you're going to reject it because you're only in your own cloud of misery? How? Well, you have to do it 1 step at a time, a little bit at a time. Start with clean water. Start with as healthy as you can get it. Food that is not packaged, that does not have dye in it, that is not full of chemicals. Just like clean that stuff out of your body and then reduce the sugar. Just start there. Now, if you're already there and you're ready to and willing to move on to the next place, then every moment that you feel like a victim or that it's never going to happen, take the focus off of wanting and put it on, you know what? It already exists. That means I could just reach out. It might take some time because in 3D, we're moving into a 3D, 4D, 5D ascension process. That's what this is all about. And that literally means from victim to what's possible to manifestation. So you're actually 5D, but you may not realize it. And you go, I want it. I want them to notice me. I want them to pay me. I want, he, she, they to marry me. I want that. Well, we cannot control other people. We can only work on who we are. Does that make sense? All right, who else do I want to thank? Australia, Queensland, New Wales, and Victoria. Oregon, Kansas, Kentucky. I think I said Maryland earlier. France, New Zealand, Nevada, the other Carolina, Germany, Austria, Italy, Hawaii, Wisconsin. I love cheese. Rhode Island, Montana, England, Surrey, thank you. Poland, Vermont, Louisiana, New Orleans, Illinois, Peru, Georgia, Czechia, Prague, actually, Taiwan, Romania, Hungary, Panama, Botswana, Indonesia, and the North Mariana Islands. Thank you. Thank you for supporting me, for watching me, for commenting, for showing up, and for passing along the word that you can have. Now, again, sometimes it takes a little bit longer if our bodies are dense, if we're physically ill, and we are medicated, but you still can grab that second, that moment that you feel disempowered to empowered. And that's what I'm also talking about in my Venus retrograde readings coming up. Venus, well, you can, in fact, I'll post it. You can get the reading anytime you like. Venus in retrograde in Gemini starts in mid-May. We're in the pre-phase of it already. And then we move all the way through June with it. Now that combines, I'm going to add onto it the Mercury in retrograde and also the eclipse. All this transformation, all this ability to remember, these things are not happening to you. Life happens all around you all the time. That's just what it is. It's your response to it or your reaction to it that dictates your future. Make sense? Okay, so Venus in retrograde with many bonuses is what I'm doing now this month. Okay, let me just post that. Get your Venus in retrograde with many bonuses session. It's a 1-hour session plus. And when Venus goes retro, and the reason why I suddenly shifted into Venus was because when I talk about disempowerment, that's where I go. Empowerment and disempowerment. I look at Pluto. Right now I'll be looking at Saturn. And remember, the things in the chart just tell me. It's like looking at a blueprint. It's just telling me where you are with something and your possibility, because before you even got to this earth, you decided the things that you wanted to be doing and learning and growing from in order to serve, but not at the sake of yourself. And some people just hit the dirt and they take off, and other people get stalled. So I like to help people move that energy to empower the original purpose. because you came here with a reason. And some people don't need to know the reason, and that's okay. But they want more money, or they want that relationship, or they need this thing, and it's not working. Remember, as we take our focus off of the wanting and we start trusting that we can have it, it becomes a choice instead of, I got to chase, I got to run after it, I got to work hard, I got to work hard. Well, you know that you're already working hard, so you want to see the results that you want. Sometimes it takes a little fine-tuning, a little tweaking, and that starts on the inside. That's where empowerment begins. Okay, so I consulted, as I do always. I had a crap couple of days last week, really feeling low and tired, and and insomnia on top of, I didn't feel well physically, and I was like, oh my God, and I started to go to that place of, oh, why bother? But I had a Facebook Live the next day, and I thought, well, I'm just going to go through the motions in the morning as I move toward, I no longer choose to feel lost or disempowered. So little by little, as I refocused my thoughts, my needs are met, even if I don't know how to meet them. Ta-da! Did a Facebook Live, and by the end, I was just so happy because I was offering and I was giving of myself, but not at the sake of myself. And sometimes we need that lifeline. So if you're getting stuck right now, and too much in your own space, in your own head, in your own, yuck, now's the time to turn around and do something for someone else. I pulled some Brian Froud, Jessica Macbeth fairy cards for the group for today. And also, if you're watching this in a replay, then that's the time to see this, because now is the only time that ever exists. So you could read something that was written 100 years ago, and then it applies to you, and it changes your life, or it makes you feel differently or think differently because you're reading it in the now. As you experience in the now, it doesn't matter when the thing was recorded or written or spoken, okay? Because people say, how does that work? If you're pulling a card for people and you're doing it live, how does that work for the future? And it's like, past, present, future. Now is it. Okay. So when I pulled the cards, I also pulled a rune, and I'm looking for the rune, and I can't find it. Wait. How's everybody doing? Come say hello to me. What's going on? What's the dealio? Oh, I found it. Hang on. Hagalaz. Looks like the letter H. And this is a rune, if you're not familiar with runes. They are in ancient Norse and Scandinavian divination, just the way someone would use tarot or tarot. So Hagalaz literally is the disruptor. It has to do with the Great Awakening. Time to wake up now, William. It is your freedom. It literally represents your freedom, and given the time and space with which you are looking at what's disrupting me, why do I feel this way? You're given an opportunity to look inside and say, oh my gosh, this is what Hagalaz represents. Hagalaz, that you are the maker of all in your world. It may not seem that way because you feel so disempowered at times, but you're that powerful. And so what's the solution then? If that's what's happening, what's the solution? Well, your inner nature is the magnet. So if that's the case, let's go inside. Welcome to my world. And and start to figure out what you want and already have. So let's focus on what you already have. That's the gratitude. I'm so grateful for this comfortable bed. I'm so grateful for the support in my life. Oh, but they didn't call me and I didn't. I'm so grateful for. So catch yourself in the moment and you can shift that energy. Okay? Make sense? Hey, you caught me live. I am live and I am alive. And I also pulled the fairy cards, and what they want to say to you today is this guy, and I've never pulled him before. Well, maybe I have like 100 years ago when I used to do the cards, but His name is Geo, the slow. And it's Geo, the slow. The slow. Isn't he just so magnificently benevolent? Geo, the slow. And the whole purpose of pulling Geo, the slow, is about understanding patience and your own life process. That there's places you want to get to in a hurry, and now you're being forced to do the opposite. And you can feel a sense of disruption because of it. Like, what do I do now? Oh, am I turning silver again? What do I do now? And you go slow. Why? And then Laum, unconditional giving and compassion. Or Lome. Not sure how to pronounce that. Laume. It's Gallic. Unconditional loving and compassion. How would you like to do that? How? What would you like to do? How would you like to take care of yourself even more than you already have, in a more positive, proactive, compassionate way? So the very next time you're being stingy with yourself, because you go into that, no, it's not going to work. I don't have enough. I don't have it. I don't have enough. It's not enough. There's never enough. I can't because of this and that. And you list all the reasons that you are not empowered. Everybody take a deep breath with me. Come on. We are all in this together. So as I lift my vibration, which I did in the past couple of days, I put it out into the world. Offer to go food shopping for someone. I spoke to a gal the other day, and I said, "How are you?" And she said, "Oh, something crappy happened to me this morning," and we chatted for a little bit, and I was like, "But you're such a kind person. It's okay. People are gonna want to dump their crap on you. When else have you felt like that?" And immediately we went back 5 years, 10 years, 30 years. And within a 5-minute conversation, she was laughing and smiling. When you can offer your perspective and insight with compassion without an agenda, that's one of the best things you can do. Hey, Deborah's here. Hey, Christy. Hey, girl. Okay, and I also pulled these are so cool because when I did this in order, this Hagalaz, it's about disruption, the inner awakening because of what you're magnetizing, what you're creating. That's the big realization right now, right? That's what you're looking at. Well, how did I create, this? Well, you can think about it, you can resist it, you can deny it, but everything in your life is there because of you. Now, sometimes you're walking down the street and a bird flies by and craps on your shoulder. That happened to me once. Easter morning, I was 7 years old, had brand new patent leather shoes on, and a bird flew by and literally took a dump on my new shoes. And I just remember looking down. And then I looked up and I was like, okay, that happened. I wasn't upset. I wasn't startled. I was just like, that happened. And my mother was like, oh my God, I got to clean those shoes. And I was like, okay. So if something hurts you physically, if you're walking down the street and a car speeds by and they hit a piece of metal and it flings into your leg, that also happened to me. You might feel pain and go, ow, did they do that on purpose? Because that's the first thought that will come to just about anybody. Ow. I was walking to school one day. I was like 10 or 11 years old. A bus went by, a piece of metal got flung out and I saw it happening. A piece of metal flung out from the bottom of a tire and it landed right in my thigh. And it hurt. It didn't pierce my skin or anything, but it was like, ow. And I felt this chill over my entire body. And I thought, did somebody do that to me? That's what I thought. And then I stopped and went, well, no. It was just a bus. but I went to that place of victim. You see how I started out early like, hey, this is cool. And then it's like, hey, ow, I don't like that. This isn't fair. This isn't me. What did I do to deserve this? By the time you're 20 and 30 and 40, you're thinking, I've tried so hard. Nothing works. Why bother? Right? Yeah, we have to combat a big world sometimes. And then we stop and go, yeah, I'm not going to fight anymore. I'm not going to combat anything. I'm going to move energy. That is my job. I'd like you to adopt that philosophy. I'm going to move some energy. I may not like how I feel. So first I got to check in. Do I need some water? Do I need some healthy food? What's my biology doing? Do I need some extra supplements? Like what am I lacking? And then once my body gets fed, it's going to feel so much better. And then I'm going to turn around and I'm going to say, okay, I have a choice. I could go backwards. I could feel that thing. It's so comfortable to go there. It's so comfortable to know that every time I say this, they're gonna counteract because they have to win. I know that person. Every time I say they have to top me, they have to win. And then I think to myself, well, they just want recognition. So in my mind, I send them love. I send them love. I send them love. I send them love. And then I detach from them and I erase all cords that are attached to this person and whatever goes on or went on between us. And then the moment I detach and let go and I cut the cords and I throw them back to the universe to be recycled, then the next time I meet this person, they're like, how are you? I go, oh, pretty good. Here's what's going on, la la. And they're like, wow, that's really cool. Then there's no more competition. Because when you stop the energy flow from here, you no longer pull it in. Make sense? Right? Okay, so then my kid gave me Astro Dice. I love these things. Okay. It's like I was thinking, we were just finishing up watching Ozark. No spoilers. But I thought, I would have Astro Dice in my casino. So here's the situation. The moon, as I'm going in order, saying, okay, we're feeling the disruption toward freedom. We want our freedom. We don't know how to get a different kind of freedom. We're making a whole big change right now. And we have to go slow. We have to go slow and use compassion for self and others and give whenever possible, but not at the sake of ourselves. And then I pulled like, what's the ultimate? What are we really doing here? What's the real skinny on this? So this is what's happening. The moon. The moon. What's the moon doing? It's how we feel. It's the undercurrent of relationship to women. Yes. To our feminine side, to the nurturing self, to the mother, to the child, to the earth, to really fostering care. And this is how it feels. Cancer, and the moon in astrology guides Cancer. So, wow, okay, that came out. And I was like, oh, what's happening is nurturing and reestablishing our ability to give compassionately without overwhelming and without being at the sake of ourselves in the sign of Cancer, which is also nurturing. And that's what, the moon rules and guides Cancer. And where does it take place? So it feels very, it can feel nerve-wracking. It can feel overwhelming. That's one aspect of Cancer energy. It can feel like you just want to start parenting people and helping them and contributing something. My sister is a Cancer, and she's taking care of a lot of her wedding business now. So that's kind of for now, right? And all the plans. And then she thought, well, I can't just sit here. I've got to do something. And my sister was a fashion designer in New York, cover of Vogue. Big deal. People wore her stuff to the Grammys and Academy Awards. So she said, I know, I'm just going to start making masks and then delivering them to hospitals. So that's what she's doing. Now, how it feels. No, this is what's taking place. Cancer, being more nurturing, looking at how to be more compassionate, especially with the feminine energy. That's not just a Venus territory. It is also the moon. And how How does it feel? Cancer, it feels like everything I just talked about. And where does it show up? In the 4th house. Now, in astrology, in a general chart, in the 4th house of a wheel, Cancer rules the 4th house. The moon rules Cancer. So we just got a line up here that is, very clear. The moon, feeling, emotions, service, not at the sake of the self. Now, service can be food with Cancer. It can be food. It can be finances. It can mean you get your finances in order now. It can mean you help someone else to do their taxes because there's a delay on the tax deadline. And ultimately, the 4th house represents your inner identity. So you're being asked to go within right now and see what the disruption's all about. And if it's not an inner disruption, then ask yourself, do I have what I want? Do I have what I need? Am I grateful for those things? Do I have? Yes, you do have. You most certainly do have. Does that make sense? Rakara says, I'll be COVID testing on patients at the hospital next week as I'm a medical assistant. Well, you stay safe, you stay healthy, and then start projecting that vibe of people getting their needs met. Now, okay, this is where we have to not overparent, because someone may have a need that you don't know about, excuse me, and that need may be to move on. Like a very famous jazz singer, musician, passed away today or yesterday. He was in his 90s, complications due to COVID, but he had pneumonia. And sometimes we look at people and we go, fight, live, heal. And it's not our place. We can support them as best as we can. So if you're working in a medical environment, put your energy on the person to get what they need, not what you think they need. Very fine distinction. But what it does is it cuts the ties to you thinking you have to be responsible way above and beyond your call, which actually hinders. Because if someone's wanting to do something, someone's needing to just, some people have the energy where they go, and then the day they get vacation, they get sick. Okay, if you have that kind of an energy, it's a very control thing. It's a high control thing, which means somewhere in your unconscious, subconscious mind, you're thinking, if I don't do it, it doesn't get done, so I better get it done. And then when you finally relax, your body can just go, well, finally, now it's about us. So that's an extreme. So you just want to make sure that in whatever area you are serving or giving, that you put an energy into the place of, I'm here for you. What do you need? Let me help support you. What do you need? As you take care of yourself. Okay, make sense? Excellent. I'm just going to, I think that was it that I wanted to talk about regarding disempowerment and empowerment. And my hair is doing like this weird wave thing. All right, folks, I'm going to be back on Monday, the 20th, unless, the power goes out or whatever. Well, I don't know. Not predicting that. But in the meantime, pay attention to your inner disruption, okay? Because you're being given a chance to find freedom through going slower and utilizing compassion, but not at the sake of yourself. Cancer, moon, 4th house. Cancer, moon, 4th house. This is all about your identity now. Your freedom is on the inside. That's the difference between wanting and having. When we come back, we're going to talk more about the Venus in retrograde and how this energy is really going to start to show itself with women in your life, with your own feminine energy, with delays around women, with delays or issues that come up that can be healing in nature around your finances, around relationships, and that includes romance, and also aesthetics, art, beauty, love, agape love, not just romantic love. Okay, folks, thanks for being here. Let me just check in. Love your background. It feels like home. Oh, Hey, Lucy. I'll speak to you soon. And Cindy, thank you for being here. Thank you for being. Remember, every moment you uplift yourself and empower yourself, you're helping to heal the entire planet. No pressure. I'll be back on Monday. Be well.